Our national lead today, an issue so serious it has united some Republicans, Democrats, and comedian Jon Stewart today to help military veterans exposed to burn pits, long used in war to destroy everything from old munition and human waste to jet fuel. More than 3 million veterans who served in the past few decades for the U.S. military were likely exposed to toxic fumes, according to the Department of Veterans Affairs. A new bill would allow sick vets to receive VA benefits without the burden of proving that a burn pit caused their illnesses. I want to bring in Jon Stewart and Gina Cancelino, who lost her husband to cancer after serving in Iraq near one of these burn pits. Gina also has with her lovely daughter, Isabel. Gina, first of all, my deepest condolences. Joseph, your husband, served as a Marine for 20 years. His barracks were near a burn pit in Nasiriyah, Iraq, putting him near these toxins as he slept. What is the VA's reasoning for denying you spousal benefits?
They said that he wasn't receiving disability compensation and showing that it was service-connected. So I would have to prove that it was service-connected in order for us to receive benefits. The rare cancer and the mere fact that he was there in 2003 till March of 2003 to August of 2003 just simply isn't enough, apparently.
Jon, the good news here is that Democrats and Republicans generally can't agree on much these days, but today you had Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Republican Senator Marco Rubio along with you promoting this bill. President Biden has said he believes a burn pit might have caused his son Beau's fatal brain cancer. Are we in a moment here? Is there potentially enough unity in Congress to get this bill passed into law?
I mean, I truly hope so, because this is sort of a moral imperative. This is the cost of war. When you send people overseas, you have to be prepared for taking care of the consequences of that service on those veterans. You know, these families are almost made to be defendants in court cases on their own health conditions. It's bizarre, especially since the VA itself, the statute is, even if there's reasonable doubt that it's not service-connected, reasonable doubt, the benefit still goes to the veteran. And that's why presumption is, I think, the only way to do it.
And Gina, this process, your husband fighting cancer while fighting the VA, I can't even imagine how horrible this has been for you and your family.
It's actually a fight that I've taken on after his passing, because we did not know until only a few months before he passed that this was an issue. And I've actually come to find the pictures, thankfully, through some of the men that served with him. And they sent it to me because they don't even know that it's an issue. And that's where one of the things that I have a problem with is the lack of knowledge, the lack of tracking, the lack of informing these people so they could be proactive instead of reactive. There's no difference between what he slept near for 6 months and what we were near on 9/11.
Ground zero.
Ground zero. It's the same toxins.
And Jon, you accomplished this before. Your celebrity name helped these 9/11 victims who suffered very similar, if not the exact same respiratory illnesses at Ground Zero, and you were in the fight of your life for that. Is that experience helping you at all in this fight for military veterans and burn pits?
I think helping to recognize sort of the failings of the system and maybe a blueprint for pushing through some of the bureaucratic inertia that fights against this. You know, it's unconscionable that Gina and her family, after being put through such a devastating trial with her husband passing, is forced to fight against the very government that her husband signed to protect and defend. It doesn't make any sense. And the only drawback is they always talk about, well, can we pay for it? You know, whenever you're up there, they say, well, geez, should we include that disease? They know what diseases are caused by exposure to these toxins. It's why it's illegal to do this in the United States. So it comes down to money. And I think our point of this is the cost of war. Everybody says, well, freedom isn't free. Right. It costs this amount of money, and you've got to pay for the consequences of the service that they faced in dangerous theaters.
Jon Stewart, Gina Cancelino, Isabel Cancelino, thanks to all three of you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having us and for supporting this important piece of legislation.
Yeah, thanks, Jake. Much appreciated.